in Savannah, Hilton Head, Southeast Georgia, and the Low Country. This is WJCL 22 Morning News.
Well, while you were sleeping, protests in more than a dozen cities across the nation.
All of them against the election of Donald Trump. Now, this morning, we're sharing videos from across the country.
Plus, a teenager recovering this morning after a shooting in a high school parking lot. I'm Mariana Poindexter, and I'll have all those details just ahead.
Well, good morning. It's 6 o'clock on your Thursday, November 10th. I'm Nicole Baker.
And I'm Chris Tatum. We've got a lot of news to get to this morning, but before we do, we need to check in with Jonathan and talk about weather.
And I have it. It's
Wore
chilly.
a jacket in this morning.
Absolutely. Chilly start this morning. We're in the mid 40s, even some spots lower 40s as we start the day. And it will be somewhat of a coolish afternoon. We'll be a little below our seasonal average. Looking outside this morning, we're going to see just some high clouds to start things out, but lots of sunshine throughout a good part of the day. And there's that high this afternoon. Only about 73 is our average, so about 3 or 4 degrees below that. And then turning much cooler for the holiday weekend, Saturday, and also for Sunday. We'll see highs only in the mid to upper 60s. Probably the coolest weather we've seen so far this fall season. And then also some coastal flooding will be possible, mainly shallow coastal flooding during times of high tide right along the immediate coast. And this is due to a full moon coming up on Monday, and also some northeast winds is going to push this water close to the coast. To combine the two, I do expect to see some of that coastal flooding as we go into the weekend and even early next week. So waking up this morning, temperature outside 45 degrees at 7. At 9 o'clock, we'll see 53 degrees. And overall throughout the daytime, we're going to see mainly sunny skies. And with these cooler temperatures this afternoon, here's where we'll see later today about 70 to 72 degrees. We're going to top things off for highs. There will be a couple spots today into the upper 60s like Skidaway, also 66 for Tybee. Bluffton this afternoon will be near 69. And it's looking nice and warm as we go into tomorrow for Veterans Day. I'll talk more about that forecast in less than 10 minutes.
Well, download the WJCL app and you can track your forecast anytime. Jonathan, of course, has live weather updates for you every 10 minutes on the 2s, and you'll see him at 6:12 for your next update. Right now it's 6:02, and overnight in Commitment 2016 news, protests erupt in more than a dozen cities across the U.S., all of them protesting the election of Donald Trump. Large crowds rallied in New York City, Chicago, Dallas, even Seattle. And in downtown Los Angeles, thousands of people went on to the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions for several hours. Police arrested more than a dozen of those demonstrators.
And here's some video of peaceful protests in Savannah after that historic election. It was shot by Sarah Tollerson. It shows locals marching down Broughton Street. They had some signs. One read "Revolution," the other "Love Trump's Hate." And here's more video for you. This is from Peyton Ashley from River Street. Both of those groups there were peaceful, but Chris, they did have some strong messages.
Yeah, a lot of that across the country this morning. Well, many of those protests across the country could happen again tonight.
ABC's Diane Macedo has more.
Overnight protesters hit the streets from coast to coast. Seattle, Chicago, New York. Thousands of people marched in at least 10 cities, speaking out against President-elect Donald Trump.
I'm here to show solidarity with people who've been affected by the hatred that Donald Trump's rhetoric has invigorated in this country.
Here in Manhattan, crowds chanted things like "Dump Trump" and "New York hates Trump" as they blocked the entrance of Trump Tower, where the president-elect was said to be home at the time.
I'm a Republican, I'm a woman. I have never come out to a protest, and I've never felt so passionately about anything being wrong in my life. As a Hispanic woman, I don't feel safe in this country anymore.
In California, demonstrators gathered on the 101 in Los Angeles, shutting down the freeway. And in Oakland, people set multiple fires on city streets, forcing police in riot gear to move in and use tear gas.
I don't want a president that represents everything that is negative about this world. I would rather have a president that's positive and peaceful.
And in the nation's capital,
No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA.
people gathered outside the White House before marching to the newly opened Trump International Hotel.
I am terrified. I come from a family of political refugees from Cuba, and I'm very grateful to this country for having accepted us. And I'm terrified.
Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Well, now, as for President-elect Trump, he is headed to the White House today to meet with President Obama. Now, the president invited Trump to meet shortly after Trump won the election. Among the topics they'll discuss, how to smoothly transition from one president to the next.
6:05 and happening now. Metro Police are investigating after a teen was shot in the Savannah High School parking lot.
That's right. WJCL's Ariana Poindexter joins us live from the school this morning. She has the latest information. Hey, Ariana.
Well, Chris, Nicole, good morning. We're told it was a female girl or a teenage girl who was shot here at Savannah High School. It actually happened during a basketball game between Jenkins High School. We're told that is where that girl went to school. Now, there were about 20 to 30 students in the parking lot at the time of that shooting. The girl was shot in the leg and taken to Memorial Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But police are still looking for a suspect this morning. Witnesses on the scene were able to give police a suspect description, and witnesses we talked to say they heard about 10 to 15 gunshots. Now, school starts here at Savannah High at 7:30. No word yet if there's going to be extra patrols on the scene, but we have been in contact with police as well as the school board just to see how they are handling the situation. We will continue to bring you updates as we learn more. For now, reporting live in Savannah, I'm Ariana Poindexter, WJCL 22 News.
Thank you, Ariana. 6:06 and happening today. Several gang members are in jail this morning in connection with a Savannah murder case. And at 9 o'clock this morning, Metro Police plan to release more details about which case and how those gang members are involved. So far, police have not released the names of those arrested, but say state and federal investigators helped them crack this case.
6:06 now, and across South Carolina, we are learning more about the property where a woman was found chained in a storage container.
Deputies have been combing that area and they have found several bodies. WJCL's Amanda Foster is live now for our Low Country Bureau. Amanda, what's the latest?
Well, Chris and Nicole, Wednesday, deputies say they found the bodies of a married couple in their 20s on that property. They had been missing for about a year near Woodruff. Now, this is the same property that you may remember that deputies originally found 30-year-old Kayla Brown there, chained by the ankle and neck inside of a shipping container. Property owner Todd Coleheb has since confessed to killing 4 people. He now faces 4 counts of murder, and he's being linked to up to 7 deaths. 45-year-old Coleheb was a registered sex offender. In the past, he spent 15 years in prison for kidnapping. Investigators say, though, they don't believe that they will find any further bodies on that property moving forward. For now, reporting live in the Low Country Bureau, Amanda Foster, WJCL 22 News.
Jury selection in the Charleston church shooter case has been pushed back again. Court documents say it'll start back up November 21st. Now, that's because 22-year-old Dylan Roof needs to undergo a competency evaluation. He's accused of shooting and killing 9 people at the Tatum AM A church last year, and he faces 33 federal charges. If he's convicted, he could be sentenced to death. Michael Slager's trial continues today in Charleston as well. He's charged with the murder after shooting and killing Walter Scott last year. Wednesday, the jury learned that an autopsy found cocaine in Scott's body. Attorneys argued over testimony from toxicologists who reviewed Scott's blood in the lab test there. Slager faces 30 years to life if convicted.
Well, in other court news in Georgia, it's the 3rd day for jury deliberations in the hot car death trial. Jurors have yet to reach a verdict. Now, reports say they did ask to re-watch videos of police interrogating Justin Ross Harris. His son, you'll recall, was left in his SUV in Atlanta 2 years ago. Harris says he simply forgot to take his son to daycare that morning, but prosecutors claim he left his son in that hot car to die on purpose. Time right now, 6:09. We are continuing our special series this morning on dangerous apps.
That's right. Today's segment examines an app that could attract some unwanted guests right to your front door.
Grab a jacket this morning. You're going to need it. Temperatures starting out into the 40s. And we will see by far a lot more sunshine than we had yesterday, but it'll be a little on the cool side, 66 at lunchtime.